What if at the age of 13 you are given not just a textbook but a loaded version of history? That's the big debate about the new Class 8 social science textbook from NCERT. This is about encouraging critical thinking, not blaming anyone today, and not rewriting the past, just presenting it, good or bad. So, why the outrage? These changes are not only right but long overdue. They believe Indian textbooks have for decades ignored the harsh realities, especially under the Mughals, due to what they call left-leaning historians. Some leaders have asked, do we want to raise children with critical minds or with revengeful hearts? Is this new textbook a step towards honesty or a shortcut to hatred? The danger isn't in knowing the truth, it's in how you use it. Our classrooms are for learning. But what if they become a battlefield of ideas? What if at the age of 13 you are given not just a textbook but a loaded version of history? That's the big debate about the new Class 8 social science textbook from NCERT. Akbar, once seen as a tolerant, is now called a man of brutality and ambition. Aurangzeb is described as a military ruler with new details about temple destruction and religious taxes. What's really going on here? Are we rewriting history or just finally getting the full story? Let's unpack this. This new textbook coming in 2025 doesn't hold back. Babur is shown as an invader who used gunpowder to end the Delhi Sultanate. Akbar's siege of Chittagong in 1568 is detailed with his own words like, "We have erased the signs of infidelity. We have destroyed temples all over Hindustan." Yet, the book also mentions his later changes, like his translation efforts and the abolition of jizya tax. For Aurangzeb, the book highlights his campaigns, his ban on music and dance, and the destruction of temples. NCERT says this is about encouraging critical thinking, not blaming anyone today, and not rewriting the past, just presenting it, good or bad. So, why the outrage? Let's look at the right-wing view first. For them, these changes are not only right but long overdue. They believe Indian textbooks have for decades ignored the harsh realities, especially under the Mughals, due to what they call left-leaning historians. They feel history has been edited to praise tyrants and hide the suffering of centuries. From their perspective, these changes aren't about hate but about honesty, about bringing out hidden truths, about teaching the next generation what their ancestors went through and overcame. They ask, if we don't teach about Chittagong massacre or temple desecrations, are we teaching history or hiding it? Now the other side, the left. And many educators see danger in this new approach. They are not denying history, but they question the real aim. Are these changes meant to educate or to create a division? Are we putting brutal events in context or highlighting them in a way that demonizes one religion? Some leaders have asked, do we want to raise children with critical minds or with revengeful hearts? Historians put out that terms like infidels in old royal letters were often just strong language for that time, not always a plan for mass killings. More importantly, if we teach the bad, do we teach it fairly? Every empire, whether Hindu, Muslim, or Christian, has a dark side. If we highlight Mughal cruelties, do we also highlight the Bhakti saints who challenged them, or Hindu kings who did similar things? If we call Akbar brutal, do we also teach his apology? Formerly, I persecuted men into conformity with my faith, but I was overwhelmed with shame. That's the full picture. So let's step back. Should we teach children about the dark parts of our past? Absolutely. Germany teaches the Holocaust. America teaches slavery and segregation because the world agrees if you forget history, you risk repeating it. But why, how you teach that history matters. If you teach that Aurangzeb destroyed temples, you must also teach that Guru Tegh Bahadur stood up to him. If you teach Akbar's massacre, you must also teach his later regret and his vision of peace called Sulki Kul. History must hurt, but it must also heal. That is the real question. Is this new textbook a step towards honesty or a shortcut to hatred? The danger isn't in knowing the truth, it's in how you use it. Millions of Hindus and Muslims live peacefully together today. Do we risk dividing them by turning every old battle into a current grudge? Can we teach the horrors of history without blaming innocent children sitting next to each other in school today? Can we learn from the past without wanting to repeat its violence? The new NCERT textbook includes a powerful line. It is important to study darker developments dispassionately without blaming anyone living today. And this line should guide us. Because in this debate between right and left, between pain and pride, one thing is certain. We don't need a generation that just memorizes names and dates. We need a generation that asks why. Why did this happen? How do we prevent it? How do we build a country where no children is judged by what their ancestors did? Let's not erase the past. Let's understand it. But let's not repeat its worst mistake of defining people by their faith. Because in the end, history is not a weapon, it's a mirror. And what we reflect to the next generation will shape what India becomes. Not yesterday, not 500 years ago, but tomorrow. Thank you for watching. This is not a claim by a party. This is not election hype. This is data from the Union Government of India. Tamil Nadu didn't just wake up one morning and attract industry. It's been building for decades, from auto to textiles to electronics and defense corridors. Tamil Nadu, it's not a startup state. Tamil Nadu is a scale-up state. Tamil is the mother of South Indian languages, period. Not by arrogance, not by ancestry, not by opinion, but by origin. And we should all be proud because in that mother's story lies the shared soul of the South. Tamil wasn't born out of thin air in 300 BCE. To reach the sophistication of Tolkappiyam and Sangam, it needed century of evolution.